Before you start the engine, check the gear shift is in neutral. Check your brakes, make sure they're full to apply, both tractor and trailer. The red one is your trailer, and the yellow one is your tractor brakes, or TPV as is known. Make sure your hand valve is also up. That means the trailer brake valve is released. Observe your air brakes, air pressure gauges, primary and secondary. Before you even start the engine, make sure the air pressure is 90 psi or less. In this case, we need to bring the air pressure down by releasing your air pressure, and you do that by applying your service brakes, moderate, until you reach 90 psi or less. It doesn't matter if you don't get it exactly at 90 or less, as long as it's not over 90. Now I can start my test. My governor cut out. Turn the key on. Not the engine. Press your clutch before you start the engine. Now you may start the engine by pressing the engine start switch. Slowly release your foot out of the clutch. And as my air pressure is rising to maximum 130 psi, I will inspect the following. With your right finger against the steering wheel, but without putting pressure, just slightly over. Move the steering wheel with the free plane. It should not be no more than 2-inch plate. This vehicle has 1-inch plate. It's considered normal. Next, I will inspect my clutch brake travel from 1 to 2 inches plate. Same thing, slightly putting pressure. This vehicle has 1 inch, is considered normal. Next, I will inspect my gear shift, not broken, not cracked, no illegal welding. Airlines, make sure they're not shaved, cut, or leaking air. Check your selector as well. Make sure there's no air leaks. Your rubber boot, make sure it's secure. Plate and screws tight, so no carbon monoxide poison will come in the cab. While we're still waiting for the air pressure to reach maximum, I continue inspecting my water temperature. Normal 175 to 195 Fahrenheit. That's normal hot. Right now it's indicating 148. It's still considered normal because the engine is cold. Next, I'll inspect my oil pressure gauge. Normal oil pressure should be 30 to 75. Right now it's at 40. It's considered normal. Next, I will inspect my voltmeter. Normal 12.0 to 15. It's indicating 13.5. It's a normal range. On completion of the basic inspection, continue with your governor cut out. Observe gauge very closely to make sure that the needles have stopped moving. If they're still rising, continue waiting until the governor has cut out. In this case, the governor has cut out. Primary has reached at 128, secondary 130 psi. It's considered normal. They both have reached a normal margin no less than 120 and no more than 130. Also, if you need additional time, if the air pressure are very low, what we could do is slightly accelerate, no more than 1,500 RPMs. While your steer pressure is still rising. And that was just an example in case your air pressure is very low and you need to pursue the system a little bit quicker. My next step is the governor cutting. We're testing the little governor that controls the air compressor when to turn on. That means the governor cutting. We reduce the air pressure by pressing your service brakes once. Air pressure drops. Keep in mind where the needles are indicating. No need to explain that to the examiner, but keep that in mind. And we give approximately 30 seconds or until the governor cuts in. Observe the gauges clearly and notice that the needle starts rising. You may wait a little bit longer if you wish. After 30 seconds have passed, or more, and you notice the needle has not rised, then you tell the examiner you will repeat the procedure and continue testing your governor cutting. Press the service brakes again. And one more time, we observe the needles very closely. In this case, my primary has cut in at 115 psi. It's working normal. My secondary has cut in 120 psi. And it's working normal. Governor cutting is a normal operation. They both have cut in before we reach 85 or less. My next step is application test. We must build the air pressure to maximum, and that's very important. Must build to maximum before you continue to the application test. We could rev, accelerating it slightly, no more than 1,500 RPMs. And this is only to pursue the trucks a little bit quicker. Once the air pressure has reached maximum, the needle has stopped moving. Then you continue. Put it in first gear. Turn off the engine. Slowly take your foot off the clutch. Must release your TPV or tractor trailer protection valves, both, with the palm of your hand. Wait for air pressure to sensitize or reduces. Press your service brakes firm, all the way down. Hold it tight. Wait for air pressure to stabilize, primary and secondary. After the air pressure stabilizes, indicate both gauges. Primary has stabilized at 95 psi. Secondary has stabilized at 105 psi. I'll start counting my minutes now. I should not lose no more than 4 psi in 1 minute. All this time with your foot pressed on your service brakes, observing gauges, and waiting for your full 60 seconds. My minute has passed. My primary was at 95 psi before the minute. After the minute, it's at 93. It lost 2 pounds. It's considered normal. It didn't lose no more than 4. My secondary was at 105 before the minute. Now it's at 103. It lost 2 pounds. Still considered normal. It did not lose no more than 4 psi during the 1 minute period. It's normal. On completion, release your foot of the service brakes. And I have complete the application pressure test. Alarm light test. An audible alarm or a light should come on no lower than 60 psi. You turn the key on, not the engine. Reduce air pressure until the light or the audible sound will come on. By pressing your foot on the service brakes, we reduce air until the light or the sound will come on. A blink must remain on. In this case, the light on the lower warning came on. Primary came on at 67 and is working normal, activated before 60. Secondary came on at 70 and is working normal, activated before 60. My lower warning light or buzzer sound alarm system is working properly. On completion, apply the parking brakes or your TPB as is known. By pulling the yellow one, the trailer TPB automatically also activates. But make sure they're both applied. Put it in neutral, and you will continue to the next step. Next step, I must turn the engine on, build the air pressure to normal, 120 psi, to check your parking brake test. You'll be testing your tractor, your trailer, your hand valve, and your foot service brakes. Let's start by starting the engine on, pressing the clutch in, turning the key, and pressing the engine start switch. Slowly release your foot off the clutch. While my air pressure is rising to 120 psi, I will take my time to inspect the following. I will inspect my mirror. I will proceed inspecting my mirror brackets, make sure they're not cracked or broken, they're secured, that means some screws or bolts. Make sure my mirrors are clean, good visibility. Make sure my mirrors are all adjusted to the driver's point of view. That includes all corner mirrors and coaster mirrors, or fisheye mirrors as they call it. I will continue inspecting my windshield, not cracked, not broken. Secure weather stripping also. You might want to add that in there. Make sure the windshield has no dirt or sticker blocking the driver's point of view. Next, I'll inspect my wiper blades. They're not cracking, breaking, missing, loose. Inspect the windshield washer by pushing the knob. Inspect the wiper arms. Make sure it has proper tension. broken. Next, I'll inspect my electric horn. It's working normal. I'll continue inspecting my air horn. It's also working normal. Make sure the cable is not cut or missing. I will continue inspecting my left indicator light. We're checking inside the vehicle indicator dashboard lights. I will continue inspecting my right indicator dashboard light. It's working normal. Underneath the toggle switch, pull the lever out, and I will inspect the hazardous lights. By canceling, bring the lever up or down. I will inspect my headlight switch. Make sure it's not broken, loose, or missing. With the headlight switch on, I will inspect my high beam and low beam indicator, and that will show you the front of your dashboard. And it's working normal. Don't forget to cancel your lights. I will continue inspecting my heater and defroster. Turn them on. Check underneath, make sure the vents are clear. The heater is working normal. Inspect the defroster. Check the top. Make sure the vents are clear. It's working normal. The switches are not broken, loose, or missing. I will next inspect my seat belt. Make sure your seatbelt latches and opens very smoothly. Make sure the strap is secured to the chair and the chair is secured to the floor. The chair has no cuts, no slashes, not torn. It's in good shape. I will continue inspecting my emergency equipment. My emergency equipment consists of 3 triangles. Make sure they're operational, they're usable, they're not broken. Inspect the fire extinguisher, make sure it's charged, safety pin in place, and up to date. Remember, you must charge your fire extinguisher at least once a year. Faults could be reached by lifting the vent or on the outside smoke compartment. I will also inspect my fuses, which is located here in the center. Open this panel, and you will inspect for fuses. At the time of the DMV, you don't have to open the panel, just pinpoint and check for fuses. Must have one of each the vehicle uses in case of emergency. I have finished my list. I will continue checking my gauges, air pressure gauges, and make sure the air pressure have reached at least 120. By this time, you should have at least 120. If you don't, just wait at least until it reaches 120. I will continue with my parking brake test. Check your tractor brakes first. Therefore, you must have the tractor brakes applied and release every other brake. Put it in first gear, and you're going to tug it very slowly by releasing your foot out of the clutch until you feel it grabbing. That's good enough and it's working normal. It is holding up the vehicle. I will continue with my trailer brakes. Apply the trailer to the red valve and release your yellow one, your tractor brakes. I will then tug it again in the same fashion. And it's holding up the vehicle, therefore it's working in normal operations. Next, you will release the trailer and check your hand valve, which is also for your trailer brakes only. By holding the valve down, releasing the clutch again, tugging it slowly. Again, it's working normal, it's holding up the vehicle. Put your foot on your service brakes and release your hand valve. At this point, you don't tug the vehicle, only explain it verbally. With your hands outside the steering wheel, you will explain verbally only without moving the vehicle. You will say, I'll move my vehicle 5 miles per hour with my hands outside the vehicle with the steering wheel. Apply the brakes, and the vehicle should not have any pull left to right. If you have any pull left to right, perhaps you need brakes adjustments, or you need to have your brakes replaced. On completion, pull the yellow valve out, applying the brakes, put the gear shift in neutral, and turn on the engine. At this time, you will indicate that you have completed your in-cab air brake test procedure. I hope this will help you in the near future to pass satisfactorily at your DMV test, and also for you to continue in driving safe as a professional truck driver. Thank you. Good afternoon, my name is